Hi guys, it's May 18th and we're going to talk about your next assignment for Introduction to Careers in Arts, AV Technology, and Communications. We are going to be continuing with development in radio ads. So if we take a quick look at our calendar, you're actually going to see that Tuesday through Friday do have the same wording. So each day you are going to be working on two different items. First, you are going to be planning for your radio ad. So you are developing a radio ad for the product that you just developed your packaging for. The second thing that you're going to be doing is you are going to be using SoundTrap to produce a radio ad. And to assist you in learning to use SoundTrap, you are going to be recreating an existing ad. And the directions that you need are going to be on the slides in Google Classroom. So if I go to my slides that say May 18th to 21st and open these up, I am going to see some information. So the first one that we are going to take a look at, and this is our lesson for today, the 18th. All right, so we are going to be using SoundTrap to produce a radio ad. And again, to help you learn SoundTrap, you are going to be recreating an existing ad. So there's a link here for commercials, and you are going to be using this link to pick out a commercial. So these are the top radio ads from 2016. I didn't pick that year because it's magical or anything. This site just happened to have good information with commercials that I thought were doable for students. So you will see that it tells you you have the intro music, you have the voiceover, and you can listen to the ad. All right, so if you liked that one, that's the commercial you would be recreating. All right, so we are going to go through a little bit of SoundTrap information today to get you started. The other thing, and you are then going, okay, so let me back up. So let's talk about selecting your ad. So you're going to pick an ad from that link that you're going to recreate. You are going to tell me right here which ad you are going to be recreating. Okay, I would really recommend that everybody look up here at my computer so you can see what I'm pointing out. Okay, I'm sorry, right here is where you're going to label the ad that you're recreating. If you put it here, though, I'd find it too, but right here is where I meant to have you put it. The next thing we're going to talk about is some SoundTrap information, but while I'm still on this slide before we get into SoundTrap, you are going to also begin planning for your radio ad today. So the two items that you are going to plan for today, type out right here to identify your call to action and to start writing some sentences that you think mean that you are establishing empathy. Okay, you saw some examples yesterday. As you are picking out your commercial, you may want to think about where these parts fall in your commercial and then how you can adapt that to your own. Okay, questions on that general information before we start diving into SoundTrap? All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive into SoundTrap. And you can go ahead and you can Google SoundTrap. And the first hit that you should get here is SoundTrap Make Music Online. All right, so I've already created an educator's account. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log in. Now, when you go in to do it, and you say log in with Google, I think it's going to ask you for an invite code. So go ahead and try to go in like you want to go in through Google, but I think it's going to ask you for your teacher's email address or an invite code. That's what I'm hoping it does. And here's the invite code that you want to use. Is that what you're getting? You want to do an educational use. I can see that you have the right information on your screen, right? It's asking you for an invite code, David. Perfect. You're good, Aaron. You don't have to do this activity right now. Jacob, did it ask you to put an invite code in? So it seems like the trick to get the invite code piece to pop up maybe is to hit join now that was on the left-hand side and then make sure you're choosing educational use to get into your account. All right, so once you have managed to create an account, oh man, you have the option to choose music or podcast, and you want to choose podcast. I am zoomed really far in. Now on the screens that you guys have right now, you guys can click to enter your studio, right? And then when you click enter studio, you should have now the choice. Yes, I'm seeing on your screens you have the choice of music or podcast. Choose podcast. And if you're experimenting today, or if you finish your brainstorming and you start experimenting, you're not going to hurt anything, okay? But here are some things that I want you to play with today, and you are going to share this file with me. So if I wanted to record my voice, I'm going to say add new track, voice and microphone. And when I'm ready to start recording, I'm simply going to hit the record sign, and I'm now recording. So what I'm saying is being recorded. I'm all done. Okay. Now, that's much better. You can come up here. I'm using the space bar to play and pause, but you can also use your navigation down here. If I decided I wanted to add more to that, I could do it as a separate track. So I'm now recording again. This will be a new audio track right here. Okay. If I wanted to add a new track and I wanted to add music to it. Okay, so I want some drums. I don't know how any of these work. Okay. This is truly just playing. Let's see. I didn't try the drums the other day. The drums seem a little more complicated, but that's okay. I'm willing to try to learn. Start creating your beats by adding a note. How do I add a note? So I had to hit record, I think. Maybe not. So you can see some of it's definitely like hunt and guess, okay, at this point. So we'll add yet another track. I think I was playing with the keyboard the other day. So, it's going back and playing what I had already recorded. So let's see. Go with. All right, so a lot of hunt and play. Now we can also add the loop library. So depending on what type of sound effects you want, we've got all kinds of sound effects in here. So today, you are literally just exploring. Okay, this could be the most wonderful file or the most hideous file or anything in between. Okay, but I want you to make sure that you know how to record audio before class is over. Those of you at home, please make sure you know how to record audio today. And then I want you to be able to share this with me. So when we hit the share right here, you can enter the person's email. So emartin@tusge.edu. and invite. So obviously, as I can't share it with myself, okay? But you're going to share your file with me in that manner. All right, so let's do a recap. At the end of today's, for class to be finished today, you know which ad, you've selected which ad you're going to recreate, and you've told me that here. You've played in SoundTrap, you share your file with me. There's not a link or anything you're going to put here. You're going to email that to me. It'll pop up in my email. Whoops. And you are going to begin planning your ad with your call to action and with establishing empathy. Sound good? Excellent. I will put out a separate video with your assignment for tomorrow. Good deal? All right, get busy. Those of you working in Edge or absent today, please make sure if you have questions, you let me know. Yes, Aaron. I can't understand you. Say that again, please. For what thing? You just need to start clicking, Aaron. Just click. You're not going to hurt anything. Just start clicking. Enter Studio, the purple button.